Jewish population represents only 2.4% of US population, but out of Forbes 400 wealthiest people with a net worth of $3.3 billion, 60 to 100 of them are Jews, depending on the year. Looking at the representation of Jew population, there should be only 9 Jews on that list. Why? How come their success is so disproportionate to the rest? What are they doing differently with money than the rest are not? Today, I'm going to reveal to you the 5 money Jewish truths that are contributors to their success and how you can start implementing them today in your life. And if you stay until the end, I will share with you the book where these 5 truths come from and where you can learn even more. And also, I will share a second book where you can find a step-by-step roadmap with actionable steps. If you are not subscribed to this channel, you might never see me again. But if you are, congratulations. You are learning and growing in God's wisdom every day. And if you have signed up for the free course in the description below, you are ahead of 99% of people watching this video. Number 1, know your money. I want you to take a bill from your wallet and look at it. What do you see? It's green, has a president on, some lines, some drawings, a paper. What if you take out a credit card? You see plastic, numbers, your name, a chip. What about when you look at a bank account? You see numbers. Are all those representative of what money is? No. Money is us. It's a quantifiable measure of our skills, performance, health, what we believe in, what we value. Of course, there's more to us than money, but there's no more to money than us. By understanding that money is only a representation, a paper, a plastic, an account of our beliefs, of our experiences, we can now look at money as the tool, not as something that is good or something that is bad. It's a quantifiable representation. And the more skills a person has, the more experience a person has, the more health a person has, the more money they can make. And the more money they can make, the more money they can give. So it's a representation of their generosity too. And where you give, it's a representation of what you believe in. It's a representation of your values. It's an accumulation of experiences and lives and beliefs and values. Try to define to an abused child what love is. At best, this child with time might learn what love is, but it will be very hard to explain to an abused child what love is. Same with money. It's hard to explain the definition of money because there's more to it, since it's us, our experiences, our beliefs, our values, and each person has a different set of beliefs, values, and experiences. There might be some similarities, but there's uniqueness to each person, and therefore there's uniqueness to the definition of money for each one of us. And if those experiences are traumas, then we will have negative relationship with money. And if the experiences are happy experiences, then we'll have a healthy relationship with money. Money represents what you've done in life and what you have done in life for others. Money represents how many people you have helped. The more people you help, the more money you make. And that's one Jewish wisdom to really sink in. So the more you do it for others, the more will happen for you. Think about a business. The more people a business helps, the more money they make, because it represents the amount of people they help. Same thing with a corporate job. The more you help in the organization, the more you improve things, the easier you make the lives of those around you, the more you're going to be recognized and rewarded for it. You do have to gain the skills, you have to gain the knowledge, but you gain the skills and you gain the knowledge to help and improve and do better for others. Number 2, money, it's an exchange of trust. I remember during my MBA program taking macroeconomics, and the first class that we had, the teacher goes on and says, money, it's paper. It's actually nothing without trust. It's an exchange of trust. It's a contract between people that trust each other that would deliver the goods and services that they've promised. Without trust, there will be no existence of money. I remember when the Soviet Union fell apart. Since I am from that side of the world, I have witnessed my grandparents losing everything. Why? Because the people no longer trusted the government to run the monetary system, to print money and to handle money. They no longer trusted them in other things. So when Soviet Union started to fall apart, the money was worth nothing because people had no trust in that government anymore. Why do people put money in their bank account? Because they trust that it's going to be there. Now, the bank does take that money and lend it to other people and make revenue out of that money. But if you do need it, you will go and ask for it. And if you need bigger sums of money, they will not give it to you right away because they don't have it. But yet we trust the institution. We trust that the bank has it. When you buy things from places that you trust. When you place that order on Amazon and they charge your plastic, your card, you know that 2 days later or a day later or the next morning, that order of goods is going to be in front of your door. You gave them the money before you actually saw the things in person and touched and felt them. You saw them online, you put them in the cart, and you didn't take them right away, but you paid ahead of time, trusting that those things are going to be delivered to your door. If those things are not delivered, you know that you can call Amazon and get a return. You trust that would happen, and that's why you choose to buy from Amazon or other places that have fulfilled their side of the trust. And understand that money is a web of connections of trust between us people. And it's trusting that others would fulfill their promise of delivering to us the goods and services we need, as well as other people trusting us that we will deliver the goods or services to them. Without trust, the monetary system will collapse. Number 3, Jewish people know the value of money. Think of giving a heavy coat to someone that lives on a tropical island. Would they value as much as someone that is freezing in the middle of the winter in Iceland? No. They might give you a coconut for that winter coat, but that's about it because it has no use to them. Versus if you go to Iceland and give that coat to someone that is freezing, the value that person places on that coat, it would be way higher because they need it. The Hebrew word for money is kasef, which contains the word kaf, meaning of the hand and of the sole of the foot, which translates basically in the fact that you can add value to something in 2 ways: by either doing it or working with your hands, or by transporting it by foot. When we are in the middle of the seasons, there's no blueberries in the US, we get them from Chile. And no, it would not be convenient for you to fly all the way to Chile or walk all the way to Chile to get blueberries. Therefore, someone transports those blueberries to US and sells them in a supermarket. You and I go buy the blueberries in the supermarket, and we are happy to pay a premium for those blueberries because it got transported to us and we conveniently bought it. It will be a lot more headache and a lot more cost for us to fly or walk there to get those blueberries. So the value of the blueberries increase because they've got transported. Same thing with the work that we do. We might be skilled at something and therefore we are making it with our hands or with our brains, and it becomes more valuable when we turn around and sell it to someone else or provide the service to someone else because they don't have that skill set. They will value it more because they need it and they don't have it, and you can provide it in exchange for money. Therefore, it is hard to assign a definite value to money because it depends on every person, how much they value, and what is happening at that time and that moment. Think of a Rolex. At the end of the day, it's a watch. But because it represents status, people put a lot of value on this watch. What if you took that watch and dropped it in the middle of nowhere to a tribe that is in need of water and food and clothing? Would they value the Rolex as much as the people that are not in those needs? Probably not. They would not know the Rolex status symbol, and frankly, they wouldn't even care. And maybe they will give me a sugar cane for it. But if I give them clean water, now they're valuing this at way higher because it's a basic need and because of the environment that they live in. What if it's a rare collectible Rolex? Would the tribe care more? No, they wouldn't care about it either. But what if it ends up in the hands of a watch master, a person that collects Rolex watches? Now we're talking about a completely different value assigned to this watch than someone in a remote tribe. And here's how this relates to you aside from money, and I want this to sink in. Jesus said, "Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces." You are God's masterpiece. He has anointed you. He has blessed you with talents, and you, along with those talents, are infinitely valuable. No one, and I mean no one, is like you on this entire planet. Let me say this again. No one is like you on this entire planet. And your fingerprint, it's totally unique to you. You are one of a kind. And if you are surrounded by people that don't value you, walk away. Regardless if it's friends, job, partners, walk away. Don't throw away your talents and your value under someone's feet for them to step on them and tear you into pieces. God created us in His image, which means we have the power to create, and we are just unique as God is. God created you to shine, not to shrink, because somebody else does not see your value. There are others and will be others that will see it. Let that sink in. Jewish people understand the importance of counting your money. You must learn how to manage the money. God has blessed you with the resources. It's His, but He calls us to steward it. If you don't measure, you can't track it. God has given us the blessings of wealth, and He has called us to steward that wealth according to His will, according to the obedience, and according to His commandments. You have to have a money management system in place. Understand what are assets, what are liabilities. Understand cash flow, how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. Understanding the skills of making more money. Counting your money is counting your blessings and understanding where you need to improve to steward God's money even better. More than 2,000 years ago, it was emphasized to Jews that they should keep the money in 3 parts. 1/3 is real estate, my favorite way to invest the money. I love it because it allows people to rent a home because they can't buy it. So they can enjoy with the family bigger space, a nice house, and don't have to be crammed in an apartment. I love serving others with a roof above their heads so they can build memories as a family. And I have helped and mentored others on how to buy their first rental property. The second third, it's in merchandise. And if you're a business, that would mean in inventory. But if you are not a business, it would be in other assets. And the last third of the money should be kept in liquid, accessible cash. Basically an emergency fund, or what I call a preventive fund, which will keep you at peace in troubled times. If you remember in the Bible, Joseph stored for 7 years during good times to be able to provide for people during the next 7 years of famine. Here's another thing to keep in mind. A lot of people believe that investing in the stock market or other investing is losing money. But you don't lose money unless you sell. That's a key thing that one must learn, because a lot of people think that if I bought a house and it went down in value, therefore I lost money. Or if I bought stocks and the market went down from like $1,000 to, let's say, $500, I lost money. You do not lose money unless you sell that house or unless you sell that stock. That's when the loss is recognized. There's a big distinguishment in that. And that's why I don't go after shiny stocks or the last, best, greatest stocks. I invest for the long term. I have a long-term portfolio, and it doesn't matter what's happening in the market, up and down. I know that time is my friend, and over a long period of time, sometimes there are going to be dips, but over a long period of time, there's going to be ups where I will get the winning streak. Another Hebrew word for money is zuz, which means to move. With counting your money, you also have to understand that money has to move. It cannot be stale. If it's in the bank account, in the savings account, it's stale. If it's under the mattress, it's stale. I'm talking outside of the emergency/preventing fund. You have to move that money, which means invest, which means give, help others. Because if money is stale in the bank account or under a mattress, it loses value due to inflation. It doesn't help anyone, and it just gives you the peace of mind that is there, but it doesn't serve you to grow your wealth, to be able to enjoy life and give more, and it doesn't serve others either. And especially if the money is sitting in the bank account where it pays you pennies a year and the inflation eats at it. Because we have different talents and different skills, money is a commodity that can be easily exchanged for those skills and talents. It is a medium of cooperation and generosity between us, the people. Number 5, Jewish people believe that you should give beyond your means no matter of your financial situation. Jewish tradition teaches that giving benefits the giver. When you focus on other people instead of you, you are becoming a larger and bigger person. You are becoming a better servant of God to serve other people. You take the focus from your lack and serve those that are in need. Your value changes. Your feeling of who you are, your identity changes, knowing that even in times when you don't have, you choose to give and serve God through serving others. And that in itself makes you a bigger, a better, a more valuable person. You don't give to get, but you give to make a difference. You give to advance the kingdom of God. You give because it's God's money anyway, and He has called you to steward it and to give it to His people. Also, when you give, it makes you a better money manager, because now you have to pay attention of how much you have and give that 10% to God. It also makes you a better investor, better at handling your money, because you know and understand now that the better you manage your money, the more you understand investing and you invest, the more money you're going to have, and the more money you have, the more money you're going to give. As promised, the 5 truths came from this book, and you can find even more gems of wisdom in here. And if you want a step-by-step roadmap with actionable steps on how to do things and what accounts to open and what investing is and how to manage your money, all of that is in my Wall Street Journal best-selling book, Destined for Wealth. And I genuinely believe that you are destined for wealth. I know that God wants you to live an abundant and prosperous life. You can get it on Amazon, or if you want the wealth toolkit, you can go to the link in the description and get the free wealth toolkit with the book, plus get it for a better price on my website. These 2 books would really change your life. I always joke that I'd rather give birth to a 3rd child than write a book because of so much work and so much effort that I put into this book. And I say that at least giving birth to a child, the pain was natural, but birthing this book was a gift from God, and I want you to have this gift in your hands, as well as thou shalt prosper